Okay, so what you've done so far, you've created a course, you've entered some text, you've formatted that text in certain ways, you've added some videos, you've um, also added pictures. So what we're going to do now, we're going to have a look at the blocks on the right and on the left hand side, and I'm going to show you how to insert some blocks. Okay, so you can make your page a little bit more appealing. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to add something called a HTML block. So if we go onto the add block, add, and then HTML block, the page refreshes and we scroll down and we can see at the bottom new HTML block. All we need to do is press the configure key, the edit key, and we get a very familiar box here that we simply edit. So we could call it links, and we could type anything in here we want to. We could insert pictures like we did before. Completely up to us what we put in there, but just bear in mind that the boxes are only fairly small, so think about those sizes. They expand to a certain extent to fit whatever you've put in them, but not like the entire page. So I would use them to put small pictures in to make your course a little bit more appealing to the eye, to maybe put links in. How you put links in is you just highlight what it is you want to link in. So that could be a picture, it could be text like this, and we simply highlight, go into there, and then type the website in that we want to put in. So we can put www.bbc.co.uk. The title is what we want to appear when we hover over it. So if we hovered over it, what would we want to see? So maybe BBC News is what we want to see. This is just how we want the website to be presented, the link. Do we want it to appear in the same window? Do we want it to appear in a new window? And so on. From feedback from students, they say too many windows. If they've clicked on 2 or 3 links, it starts getting a bit confusing. So depending on what it is, I would probably stick with open in this window, and they can always press back on the arrow to get back to the Moodle site. So we press insert. It's okay, and there we go. It's all linked now, and we press save changes. Obviously, your description would be a little bit more descriptive. Okay, so if we go now down the left hand side, there we can see all linked and ready to go. So that's one HTML block, but remember that this could be a picture, it could be anything linking to something else. The second one is the RSS feed. This is really useful if you want students to more easily read around the subject, because we can link it to a particular website. So exactly the same as we did before, we clicked on that, we've got a remote news feed, and we can click on the configure button and we come up with this box. Now you don't need to really worry about the first one, display each link's description. So instead of just having a link, it will have a description of what that link shows. So you can experiment around to see how it differs in its look by just changing the yes or no. The max number entries to show per block is just, for example, say on the BBC News site, do you want to show the latest 5 stories or the latest 10 stories or the latest 20 stories? What do you want to appear there? So I'm going to stick to 5. That's a good number. Now I've already got lots of news feeds put in here that I use on my different Moodle courses. But if you wanted to add a new one, you simply add and edit feeds. And as you can see, there's lots of news feeds in here from The Guardian, BBC and so forth that I've added. And they've all got feeds somewhere in the title. But how do we find them? So we could simply just do a simple Google search. So here I've searched for history RSS feeds. As we can see, we've got a day in history. So every day that will change automatically and say what happened on that day in history, for example. So there's lots of different ones. Just experiment with Google and see what you find. So I could put Manchester United. Okay, and again we find lots of news feeds about Manchester United that we could potentially use, and all we have to do is click on those. So that one's not working, but effectively we just copy and paste that link once we've gone to the website. So So Manchester Evening News. This one should work. There we go. And we can just copy that link. Now on a website, wherever you see an RSS feed, this is normally the symbol used for RSS feeds. That signifies that that's an RSS feed. So if you click on that link in the website next to this little square box, you will get sent to a page that looks something similar to this, and then you can just copy and paste that link there. Likewise on the Manchester Evening News website, again all it is it's sent us to a page, that link, to show, well, what do we want to see, and if we click on there it sends us something that looks slightly different, but again we can just copy and paste that and pop it into our RSS feeds by scrolling down to the bottom and just add new feed. But I'm just going to use one of the ones I've already got. So if I go back and BBC Click, so all about technology, so I'm going to put BBC Click. That will appear at the top of the block, and I'm going to press Save Changes. Now if I go back over here and scroll down, hopefully we'll see something not quite going right there, but I'll look into that. But effectively that's how you do it. And if you're not happy about where any of these are placed, we can move them around. If we don't want them anymore, we can simply just press the delete button and they move. And again, we can move that over to the other side of the page if we want to. So quite movable feast the blocks can be, and experiment with all the different types of blocks, like I said. So there's plenty to choose from. As you can see, there's a whole list of things we can put in there, and worst case scenario, it doesn't really do what you want, so just press delete when you've had a look at what it actually does.